Welcome to the We Are ND Nation podcast. I am Evan J. Thomas, and with me always is Dennis Stover. And this is our 5th season of the We Are ND Nation podcast, and we are excited to bring you another year of our BS and craziness that we have in store for you. So get ready. We have the Name That Former ND Player. That segment is back with Dennis and another go at it there. Joining us later on today's show, we will have former Notre Dame wide receiver and Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots, Matt Shelton. Matt Shelton will be joining us. He has written a new book called Thru Every Fall, the journey of a Notre Dame football player overcoming injuries, changes, and doubts. Matt will be joining us to talk about his book, his stories, and we will be picking, all three of us, the winner and loser of every Notre Dame game on the schedule and what we expect from the Irish this season. We will be discussing week 1 later at the end of the show as the number 7 ranked Irish invade enemy territory at College Station in Texas as Notre Dame takes on Texas A&M, and former Notre Dame defensive coordinator Mike Elko, who is now the head man at A&M. Man, did he he made a lot of money on that deal, didn't he?
I'm sure he did. I mean, they're still paying old Jimmy Fisher, Jimbo.
Oh yeah,
Fisher.
That's right. 80 something million dollars to him.
85-year-old man. He's still called Jimbo.
Head coach Marcus Freeman is entering his 3rd season at the helm at Notre Dame, and he has a new quarterback in Riley Leonard as he takes helm of the offense. Mike Elko was Leonard's head coach the past few seasons at Duke, so that first week 1 matchup will be interesting. There's been a lot of changes with ND, with coaches coming in and out and going, as well as players moving in and out via the transfer portal. And you know this is the first year of the expanded college football playoff, where there is zero possibility of Notre Dame getting any higher than a 5th seed in the bracket because they're not in a conference. Have we not discussed this before the past couple of years?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's going to glare too. I mean, even a 12-0 Notre Dame team, if this schedule would play out and be soft, would they get a 5th seed?
That's as high as they can get.
Correct, but again, what if there's the 4 conference winners get a bye and there's still that 5th at-large bid and stuff? I mean, there could be even the runner-up in the SEC or theoretically in the Big 12 or Big 10, excuse me, whether it's Ohio State, Oregon, or whoever those romantic picks are. They, again, if Notre Dame's schedule is shit, a 12-0 team, they could get surpassed by that because they're playing an extra game. And so anyway, that's a whole nother topic. And I am very happy that Notre Dame was able to somehow they secured their foot in, even if now if the schedule was really strong and you could argue a 10-2 Notre Dame team could get into the playoff behind a strong schedule, but that would have to be a very strong schedule. And depending on how they lost those 2 games, again, that's not reflection of this year. I'm just saying hypotheticals.
Yeah. So it's going to be,
because it just, it's again, +2, why would you want to take a bye? I just don't, in football, it makes sense because you get banged up, you get a bye week, you can prepare longer. In baseball, the bye doesn't work, but we're not here to talk about baseball.
The other cool thing about the playoff is there will actually be home games from the top seeds. So they
does the first 4 seeds get a home game at home? Correct. And then the semifinals are those it used to be bowl games, right?
So there could be, Notre Dame makes it top.
They could have 2. No, just 1.
1 December game at home.
Correct. No, they will if they make the playoffs this year, depending on how their schedule goes. They definitely would be a home team, unless they, of course, got like a 11 or 12 seed or 10 seed. Then they wouldn't be at home.
But as you can see, a little bit around Dennis and I, we both have new backgrounds and new changes.
Oh, yeah.
Changes with the both of us. Holy shit. I mean,
what's happening?
Been on for what, 7 months since February?
Yeah, the last time.
6 months?
Yeah, give or take. Whenever I don't even know. Did we do a bowl wrap? Yeah, we did a bowl wrap.
I think we did. Yeah, so we did. But Dennis, I want to start with you. What is new with you? Obviously, you have the new background. You have a lot.
New background. I moved to Williamsburg, Brooklyn now. Not so much Bushwick anymore, which is not far away. And just in a sublease, so it's a little bit different, trying to figure things out. I have been offered a new position in the Catskills. Hey, thank you. So I think I may be maybe moving to the Cats. Yeah, just this on Friday I found out about it. I'm going to talk to him and iron out everything. So that's probably happening. I'm sure 98% sure that I'm going to be moving to the Catskills in September. So then the background will change more midway through the season, but for the first couple weeks, this will be it. I'm not bad. I kind of like
I like it. I like the brick.
And I have a ring light now.
You have a ring light? I have a light literally right here.
Yeah, so that's nice.
In my face. It's a ceiling light. It's probably a little harsh, but whatever. I mean, it's
fine. So that's it as far as I guess anything new with me. I am going to Chicago on Wednesday to see the family. I haven't seen them in a couple years, so I'm pretty stoked about that.
To find a few minutes where I can hang out.
Yeah, I get in Wednesday afternoon, like I think
you and your sis or whatever.
2:00. Yeah, I gotta see Michael, my son, and the grandkids.
Got it all.
So it'll be pretty rad. And then obviously Saturday night I'll be watching. And I just realized I'll be excited because for me, I'm on Eastern time, so the game starts at 6:30 because I'll be in Chicago. So
and this week I'm going to be on Eastern time myself.
Oh yeah, you're on Eastern time.
So if you can tell, I have a little bit of a change here. I currently have no teeth after having surgery back in May. Having implants done in another few weeks. So as of today, I was told at least another 6 weeks, and then I'll get those. I have moved from my old apartment in Glendale Heights, Illinois, to now West Dundee, Illinois, with my girlfriend. That's where I'm at now, and have moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, part-time as well.
Man,
so I'm a world traveler. Finally. So I will be down in Cincinnati a lot, and probably be doing a bunch of shows from down there. So you'll definitely see some interesting changes. But yeah, I can't wait to get the new teeth and look like a new man. I mean, I did the Hollywood Hogan look with the Scott Steiner Papa Pump look, so kind of put all that together. Lost. It looks like
it looks like you just recorded a Mantroff show last night, man.
Man.
I can't wait.
Oh, Mantroff, motherfucker, man. So Dennis.
Yes.
Holy shit! The 20th.
All right, the season is finally here. Can you believe it, man? Can you believe it? So you know what? I just want to get it in, and we're just going to go with the off season and start it. I guess I'm very excited that Notre Dame has made a commitment. Bye Swarbrick. Hello, Pete. I'm going to butcher his last name, so I'm not going to even attempt it. But a new AD. Very happy to have him on board. Younger perspective. Maybe a different way of thinking.
Almost our age.
Yeah, amazing. I
mean, he's old.
And he's doing everything he can to ensure that Marcus Freeman succeeds because he locked up Denbrock for 4 years. Locked in Al Golden for 4 years. Brought in Mike Denbrock, which could be the biggest move in a long time for ND if it plays out correctly, because we all saw what Denbrock did in the last couple of years at LSU, especially last year with that offense and having a Heisman Trophy winner in Jade Daniels. I mean, the numbers were ridiculous. They were like Joe Burrow numbers, just through the moon. And so that is very, very exciting to me. Lock those cats up, because if anything has been proven, you can go back to the Lou Holtz years and look at any other coach that succeeds. They have good coordinator. Oh shit, my ring light just went off. Anyway, they have good coordinators around them, and they have have learned. Hopefully, he's learned from his first 2 years, and he won't have any of those mistakes that he had his first 2 years. Although I'm expecting there might be one or two. I don't know. That thing's on timer. I'll have to turn it back on. So,
you okay?
Is it too dark now?
No, not at all.
My ring light went out. All right, cool. We'll just rock it then. I had the ring light, but now it's ambiance. Anyway, as far as who's come in, we've gotten a lot of transfers. RJ Oben from Duke, Mitchell from Clemson, and Bo Collins is from Clemson, right? And Mitchell is from FIU or FAU.
Correct.
I could have that in front of me, but
yeah, what the hell? We had all this crap and we fucked up. So
because that's the beauty of our show, man.
Exactly. And the other thing, too, I'm gonna try not to swear as much, but
I agree.
Still gonna happen. I know we've got
but I know sometimes I would go off. Again, we got rid of Gerard Parker House Roll. He is on, so I won't have many rants as that. But I may rant a little bit on. So preseason, I guess, was really good. Standouts in the preseason were Ben Morrison and Adon Schuler, and also Jeremiah Love on the offensive side. And if you've been paying any attention, which I'm sure some fans have, or if they listen to the beat writers coming out of spring camp and now with the A&M game prep week, the offensive line has changed a bit.
Yeah, I just saw that today.
And that I love the idea, because I always say bring in these young players that are talented. Sometimes maybe talent outweighs experience. But I don't know if I want to talk about it now, or if I should save it for we'll save it for the A&M prediction. We'll just talk about.
Okay, cool.
Because what I can say, I will say this though. And again, everyone's excited about Riley Leonard. Okay, I mean, at one point, Count Chocula, Mel Kiper had him picked as like a top round pick. I don't know. Those two blow so much smoke. I mean, anywho, I'm look, especially after what Hartman did, and I'll be the first to admit, after I was a little leery, and then Hartman had those first 4 games, and we all took the bait. We did. We thought he was going to Heisman, and if he beats Ohio State, there's no stopping ND. And who had egg on their face? I know I certainly did, and so did a lot of other ND Nation fans. So Riley Leonard is going to be good. To me, give me fucking peanut butter and there it is. Give me peanut butter and jelly all day, because he's been there. He should have been a captain. I know the team votes on the captains. I'm trusting the coaching and the coaching staff. I'm sure they're at it. They're thinking they're going to go get the best talent on the field and stuff. But I think Riley Leonard and breaking in some key pieces on that offensive line, because he'd be lights out one game, and the next game he wouldn't hit on 50% of his passes, and any injury prone too, man.
So let me ask you this question. You just said Angeli as the second. What about CJ Carr? Where does he land? Is he second?
Well, that's what's funny, because directly asked during preseason camp, Riley Leonard was asked, where is CJ Carr at? Where were you at this point in your career when you were CJ Carr's as a freshman? And he's like, there's CJ Carr is light years ahead of where he was as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
So, I get this transfer portal thing and stuff, but there was some continuity. They waxed Oregon State in a bowl game. They had Charles Jaganosh. He's going to be out, and Gabriel Rubio is going to be out. And Marcus Freeman had his presser today about this going into the season, and he said this was one of his most it was his healthiest offseason he's seen or been a part of in 15 years. Okay. And that's great news. But also, too, you lost one starting defensive lineman, and you lost your left tackle. And so you're going to have this Anthony Knapp, which he made stride in camp because he obviously took out Tosh Baker for the spot. Tosh Baker he started last year on the right side. And then the other cat, is it Pendleton? He beat out Coogan, I believe it is. So it's okay. I got to trust in the coaches and stuff, but that first game of the year, man, we're going. There's going to be a couple things. You got the 12th man. Not Texas A&M is not a better team than Notre Dame. I'll say that right now. They're not. They have a really good defensive line, and that'll keep them in the game. And that'll but what a factor that A&M has is obviously that 12th man. That environment is going to be bigger than the Georgia game in whatever it was 2020, I think 19, when we were at Georgia and they had all those false start penalties. I mean, they couldn't get out of their own way. And the Ohio State game where we were leading in the fourth quarter,
mm-hmm.
and then we had the lollipop guild under center, and we couldn't figure out how to pass or anything like that.
I remember watching that.
And so I think that it's very similar to those games. And Mother Nature's a factor. It's going to be like blazing.
Yeah,
blazing.
It's going to be 100 degrees
in A&M,
like it is here.
Hotter.
Oh shit.
So, but we'll get into that prediction. So that was my quick rundown of the off season and whatnot. Again, I'm super happy for the coaches. I want to believe in Riley Leonard, but I just think there might be some plays where, he's thinking believing in his own hype. He's going to try to fit a ball where he shouldn't be throwing it. or take a check down. He's got a plethora of cats around him. I think Jeremiah Love is going to be out of his mind this year. I think we're really stacked at wide receiver.
We got Xavier Watt, who's the
defense. We're going to have one of the better defensive units in the country.
Our All-American Player of the Year. So he's back. So yeah, our defense, even with the line with Howard Cross, the third or junior, third. He's back.
He's back. Oh yeah, we got a good. I mean, but we're missing Gabriel Rubio. He would have been super. But we still have Othello. We still got Riley Mills. They're going to be R.J. Oben, and then as you just mentioned, Howard Cross the third. I mean, the guy was an All-American. We got new cats, new young bloods coming in as far as the linebackers are concerned. You're going to see Jalen Sneed, rotating a little bit more. Drac Bowen, Kaiser's, captain. And
just named the captain today.
And then they go at that nickel. I mean, I guess Adon Schuler is coming on strong as far as from the safety position. There was a little talk, and then you got Watts, Morrison, and then Christian Gray. Christian Gray, I guess, has a great fall camp at the cornerback position. So that defense, especially on the back end, is effing loaded. I mean, they will keep us in so many games this year, and that we'll finally have a championship caliber defense. And I really believe that. Well, I mean, remember last year I spewed those numbers, and Notre Dame had I think they were in the top 5 in scoring or something like that. They were in the top defense, I believe, in pass defense.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm spitting out numbers, but yeah, we can look it up.
Little offseason rumor I kind of want to bring up that we were talking about a couple weeks ago, you and I. Deuce Knight. It was rumored that he was transferring.
Or not transferring it. He's just not going to drop his commitment from ND and commit to Auburn.
Okay.
Then I saw something, but then I haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen anything like that yet. I just saw that he played on Friday night, his first high school game, had a 60-yard touchdown pass. I'm not sure what else he did, but that was what I saw on that from him. So as of now, his commitment is still with Notre Dame. He keeps saying
that's cool.
All in. We'll see if he sticks with it with the all in, because yeah, he would be a great addition to the QB room next year. But I can see where the whole money situation with NIL, which is getting fucking crazy.
Oh, crazy isn't the word. I mean, that's all it's coming down to now is just pay. These kids don't care about what school they go to. And again, it's by NCAA, and Notre Dame better take note, because they'll be relegated to, stay within the NCAA, while all the big guys, what formerly Notre Dame used to be, is going to start their own semi-pro league and just call themselves whatever, mini NFL.
Basically, that's kind of what it is. So
that's what's going to happen. There's no way around it, man. TV is in there. I mean, look at the flip with the TV now this year. SEC is on ESPN, and the Big Ten is on 2 networks. Notre Dame doesn't have that claim anymore of having their own network.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan's playing on NBC.
Yep. And
fuck out of here.
Yeah, so a little bit about Michigan. Obviously, they lost Harbaugh over the summer.
Yeah, he saw the writing.
Suspended for 4 years. I don't know if that even fucking matters, but he has.
You know what? They cheated, man. There's no more. I can't. The proof is there. Do
you think the title will be eventually taken away?
No, the NCAA. You would think. I mean, we'll need to give it back, just like they gave back Bush's Heisman and stuff. I mean, yeah, he won the Heisman, and Michigan won the national championship. You can't take. They played the game. They beat Alabama. They beat them all.
They had their moment.
And stuff. But it's tarnished, and it's just like in the NFL. They're not taking away any New England's championships or what Boston did when they were banging on the drums, or Houston or whoever.
Right.
But it's just a black eye, and it's just bullshit, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. If they feel good about themselves, I guess great. But don't sit there and like they were last year claiming you're a victim. That's what stinks about. Like, there's no integrity anymore. Lincoln Riley's on record as saying, I want the easiest, softest schedule so I can have the easiest path to the championship. Man, get out of here. Go play in the Arena League, dude, then. I don't like it's just like it's
yeah, go.
Nobody can look. To me, Notre Dame wins the national title every year, right? They're the best team every year. But guess what? They're not. It's just people can't accept. There's just this reality of like, oh, that didn't happen to us, and I'm going, complete my set. My point is Michigan claiming they were victims last year. Victims. Ugh,
How are you seeing this 12-team
I think it's
playoff?
going to be great.
Yeah. I mean, you're still going to have people bitching. Obviously, you have,
Oh, they're always, man, if 50 teams got in, they're going to bitch.
yeah, well, you're going
Because
to have
everybody's going to feel slighted.
13 and 20.
Everybody's going to, so they're going to, and then they'll probably try to increase the regular season at some point, especially if they go off in their own league, right? Because then who can tell them no? The schools aren't going to turn down that money. They already proved that these big schools give zero shits about the athletes. They just want that money. And if they can just get the TV rights, they're going to, you'll see college football when it's on the same time as the NFL. You'll see it, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the NFL will be, Monday, Sunday, and whatever. It's just,
Yeah,
it's pretty bananas.
college could be, like you said, Friday, Saturday. NFL will be
Oh, for sure.
Thursday, Sunday, Monday. There you go.
Because, I mean,
Well, college also
they,
Thursday and Mondays and Tuesdays. So
something's good. I mean, they haven't even had the 12 game even once yet. And they're already talking about expanding it before we've even had the 12-team format begin.
I haven't really heard that too much. I've kind of stayed away.
I'm sure it's just, clickbait or whatever the hell you want to call it. But
yeah, that 4-letter network, I've kind of gone away from watching.
Oh man, I can't. I refuse to give him.
Really, really hard to watch.
It really is.
Every show is nearly the same. It's just different people talking.
It's just.
And then you have to have those. I mean, I know we yell at times, but they yell. Well, I mean, some of them, not all of them. You got a fucking Mad Dog who's a guy should have retired when he said he would have last year when the Phillies lost in the playoffs. I still go at him on Twitter. He hasn't yet blocked me, but he probably will eventually.
Well, that's good.
But I haven't been that mean to him, unlike other people like John Schifrin, the White Sox announcer.
Yeah, they were mean to that cat.
Blocked me like 2 weeks ago. I thought that was
really.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, that station is like next to impossible to watch anymore.
It really is. They talk about 5 teams. They hype up teams. They have no business being hyped up.
Well, like you say, it's always Lakers, Duke, Cowboys, Yankees. Who else?
And then you sprinkle in their other store that they'll give a good story.
Tiger Woods always has to be in there every
yeah, it's the team thing though. It's frustrating, especially when College Game Day used to be a really great show.
Oh, it still is. Hold on before you go anywhere. I know
you can have your
It is the of their 20-something seasons they've had, the last 2 seasons were the most watched they've ever had.
I mean, that's fine. They can have ratings, man. I mean, there's tons of these now. There's tons of these. There's so much streaming. You can watch TV anywhere at any time.
Mm-hmm.
So sure, they can have all their ratings and stuff. I get it. Yeah. But that doesn't mean the show's any good.
You're right. But I watch daily the show that you're discussing, Mr. McAfee. So there you go. I watch that.
No, I'm not talking about McAfee. I'm talking about College Game Day.
Oh, okay. I was talking about
McAfee. No. McAfee. I'm talking about College Game Day.
Has he grown on you now?
Not at all. Unless it's a fucking zit on my ass. No, he hasn't grown on me at all. Why would he grow on me?
I don't know. You never know.
I mean, I respect him because he does know what the hell he's talking about. And I'd be a damn fool to sit there and say, who am I? I didn't punt in the NFL. I didn't play at West Virginia. Who am I to say, I'm just an armchair nerd, who loves one team specifically and feels I can talk shit about other teams, which I can't. But with that being said, that doesn't mean I like his shtick or his lameness and stuff,
Bring me that lameness. I love it. Like I said, I'd rather take that.
But dude's doing his thing. He's killing it, and he's making lots of money, and more power to it. Like, get it, man, because I would like some of that money. Shit.
There you go. The amount of money he's making doing his.
I mean, right? How I can be? Am I being a hater?
No,
probably. But at the same time, I respect the guy, and I understand and get it, and he should be getting it because I would, and anybody else would in his shoes. Call it jealousy, but that again, I don't have to like his shtick.
No, you don't. So yeah, that is segment 1. We're going to be coming up with the next segment with Matt Shelton, former wide receiver. But you know what time it is, Dan?
What time?
I got it for you. It is time to name that former ND player.
Pew, pew, pew.
Wow. Do I need to get that?
No, we won't have like the soundboard like Jackie the Joke Man. I'll just make or Fred. Like I'll just make the sounds myself.
God. And Fred Norris, that is of Howard Stern.
Howard Stern show, yes.
So we're gonna go to break here in a moment, but before this, I'm gonna give Dennis some stats on this player. He's actually a former teammate of Matt Shelton.
Oh boy.
And this is kind of how I'm gonna do this. Whenever we have a guest on, the player is gonna be from a teammate.
That teammate of his. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
I kind of started that. I kind of figured I started that at the end of last year, but this is what we're going to do. So this is a wide receiver, played from 2003 to 2006. He had 179 total catches. He had 2,593 total yards, 14.5 average yards per catch, 27 receiving touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown in his career. Again, 2003 to 2006 wide receiver. When we go to break, when we come back, we're going to have Matt Shelton on. Dennis, we're going to reveal who the name that former ND player is. And then we're going to go over our picks for the season with Matt, Dennis, and myself. So stick right here on the We Are ND Nation podcast with Dennis Stover. I'm Evan J. Thomas. We'll be right back. So welcome back to the We Are ND Nation podcast. Evan J. Thomas, Dennis Stover. Matt Shelton is here, but we will get to him here in a few moments. But before that, before we went to break, we had named that former ND player with Dennis. So I gave Dennis some stats on this player, former teammate of Matt's as well. So here are the stats. He's a wide receiver, played from 2003 to 2006, 179 receptions, 2,593 yards passed or receiving, 14.5 average, 27 receiving touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. Dennis, you know it?
I do, because he pitched as well. Jeff Samardzija, baby.
There you go.
I knew it. I was going to say Arnez Battle for 1 second, but I was like, I don't think Evan, he didn't have those kind of numbers either as far as receiving goes. Arnez.
Away when I said that.
Arnez did not. I think it was the 1 touchdown because I think that 1 touchdown came on a reverse against Michigan State, if I'm not mistaken.
See, Matt knows. He was there. So I think I gave it away when I said it wasn't somebody that we've already done either. So that probably,
that helped. But now I know that go for the rest of the season because last year we did multiple choice. This year, no multiple choice.
Oh, yeah. You know what? We'll go back to multiple choice. I still like that. But you know what? This kind of works too. But anyway,
let's get to our guest.
We have somebody to introduce. So now he's a first-time guest here on the We Are ND Nation podcast, former Notre Dame wide receiver, Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots. His time at Notre Dame, he amassed 52 catches, 942 yards, and 7 touchdowns. This man has written a book called Rising Through Every Fall, the journey of a Notre Dame football player overcoming injuries, changes, and doubts. Welcome to the We Are ND Nation podcast, Matt Shelton.
Yo, Matt Shelton.
Hey, guys. What an intro. I love it. Thank you.
Hey,
you're welcome. Thank you for doing the show.
Yeah, what's new with you and what's up with this book? Tell us about it. I want to hear about it.
Who knew an athlete could write, huh?
Some of them can.
Most of them then go to an ND.
All right. The book is the newest thing with me, man. I've been promoting the hell out of it, talking about it as much as I can, throwing it up on socials. And I go to the grocery store and I got it in the car just in case I'm meeting a Notre Dame fan, you know?
Yeah, you should. You absolutely should.
Tell us what the book, like, obviously, it's, Rising Through Every Fall, the journey of a Notre Dame football player overcoming injuries, changes, and doubts. We're going to get into a little bit about that, but what was this based on? Obviously yourself, but where did this come about? How did you all of a sudden think I need to write a book about my career?
Well, in 2004, I had an injury at the Inside.com Bowl on Christmas Day, which I go through all that in plenty of detail in the book. But afterwards had fallout and nearly lost my life. And I'm sitting in the hospital bed jacked up with all those antibiotics and whatnot. And, when you're that experience, you kind of start thinking about life and what's going on. And I was sitting there in the hospital bed, and man, I thought, I've had 5 coaches at Notre Dame. Charlie Weiss just signed on at that point. I had George O'Leary for a week, started off with Davey, had Willingham, Kent Bear interim.
Kent
He
Bear,
actually is 0-1.
the bowl game.
Yeah, he's actually 0-1 as a coach. And George was hired on as a coach, doesn't have a record. He actually probably is undefeated, technically, I guess, as a coach.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So then you started thinking, hey, that's unique. And then you add on all the injuries that I had on top of that. There's some inspirational stuff in there. And then, fortunate enough to break a record at Notre Dame at the Insight.com Bowl on a torn ACL.
So
what record was that?
I don't want to ruin the book for
You
people.
should know this.
Yeah.
Well, what record was it, Matt? Hold on.
It's a good trivia question.
Yeah, it is. It actually is.
Well, no one would think the little white guy from 04,
I mean, was it punt return?
No, wide receiver. And all I did was go deep.
Awesome.
So most yards per catch in the season, 25.8.
Damn.
Wow. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's
So Dennis,
great.
did you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I like the touching on the coaches and stuff because I always feel that even though I was hand wringing and everything in the moment, I always felt that Ty got a raw deal because he should have been played out his contract, right? Not canned after three years.
Yeah.
And you look at 05, those were all Ty's players. You, Brady Quinn, all those guys, those were all Ty's recruits. Zibikowski, all those guys that played on that 05 team that and nobody saw coming.
Yeah.
How was that transition? Because I would, looking back, Ty got a lot of heat and whatnot, but I think Weiss to me was more smoke and mirrors than any coach because you look at what else he did after he left Notre Dame. I mean, I know I'm sure he's your coach and everything but he laid an egg. I'll put that politely. He laid an egg, it's like, so what was that like going through? I mean, you probably had a lot of fun. I'm sure under both of them because you were winning under Weiss too. But Ty had to be a great coach. Plus, he was offensive minded as well. So,
well, a predicament in that question is my answer. In the sense that I didn't feel that way about Willingham. I felt differently about it. I think Weiss was the better coach of them.
Okay.
Now my perspective is skewed in the sense that, well, by the time Weiss got there, I'd finally gotten a chance at wide receiver.
Got it.
And proven myself. And I was coming off an ACL, so Weiss treated me very differently and treated me, better than he did most because I was injured and he really wanted me to come back. And he understands the value of a slot receiver.
Yeah.
So I can't really speak anything too bad about Weiss because that first year was phenomenal. I mean, Lee Corso came out and said we were going to start the season 0-6 that year.
Yeah, I remember.
Out the gates beat him.
I remember.
Yeah.
And if that push doesn't happen and stuff, it's Notre Dame, Texas in the Rose Bowl.
Exactly.
I mean that dead ass. Notre Dame's playing for a title.
For sure. That was a vacated loss there, so we actually got the win there technically. But now that he might be getting his Heisman back and reinstated, do they get the win back?
That's a bummer.
Whatever.
All right. But then Willingham, it was. Look, I liked him as a person. I think he was a great person, great human. He was really great at the academics and pumping up the team, making sure the team are full of class acts that are, acting properly and whatnot. As far as coaching goes, Willingham only really taught me one thing every time we talked about coaching points. That's how to hold a football. That's it. I'm telling you, 5 points of a football. He was a little bit of an out of touch CEO and really relied on his
his coordinators,
his VPs to do the job, and unfortunately it just didn't quite pan out that well. And I've got an interview in the book with one of the coaches that saw both staffs, Davies' staff, Willingham's staff, and he compares the two and gives you his thoughts behind the scenes. Yeah, so it's a little different, and kind of exactly what I thought it would be was his answer.
That's wild. I forget about Davey too. You were there at the
Yeah.
So did you play with Lavecchio then, Matt Lavecchio? No.
I think he I came in, so after he had that breakout year and Carlisle took over, that was the transition. I think he went to IU my freshman year.
That's right. He went to
he
Indiana.
had lost the starting job.
That's right.
And then Arnaz came over to be a wide receiver.
Right. Nice. That's right.
Yeah.
Some good skill players.
So
and a lot of people forget David Gibbons as well. I mean,
that's right.
My freshman year was his senior year, and you talk about one of the most underutilized players in Notre Dame history. He might be there. He goes to the Patriots in one season, has yards in the season more than he did his entire career at Notre Dame. It's all because they threw the ball.
That's right. He was a big part of those a couple Patriots teams actually. Did he win an MVP in the Super Bowl?
No, not him.
Okay.
Troy Brown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I know he had some games though. You're right. Wow, that's awesome. Thanks for taking me
really
back.
well, but yeah, it was Troy Brown. I was actually going to get to that part of your career. So playing with Tom Brady, what did you ever learn playing with him? I mean, how many years were you there?
Nothing.
Barely talk to me, man.
Probably, but who knows?
No, the story I'll tell it's in the book. I remember vividly the first time I walked up to the line of scrimmage and Tom was my quarterback. I was excited, had the jitters, chills. It's fucking Tom Brady, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I walk up to the line of scrimmage and I get my position and he looks over at me and he goes, "No."
Wow.
He waved me off. He waved me off. And I go back to Brian Dable, who's now the Giants head coach. He was my receiver coach when I was with the Patriots. I went back to Dable, and Dable was like, "Hey, don't take offense. Until he knows you're going to make the team, he's not going to waste a rep." That's Tom.
Wow.
That makes sense. He won't even waste a rep on you unless you're on the team or you're about to make the team. Yeah. So eventually I did get a catch from Tom Brady. But
wow, that is the definition of just pull my jock strap, man. Jeez.
You did win a title with them. The only
thing I did not. Right? Well, I meant to correct that. I did not win a Super Bowl with them.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we got to the Super Bowl, but by the time we were
there, the Super Bowl, okay, correction.
We lost.
So let me go back and
Super Bowl
champion, loser of a Super Bowl champion. That would be
that hurts.
Oh my! God.
We got that, and I forgot.
So my bad on that. The only thing I got out of that whole answer was that you said "fuck," so I'm good there. So you're all set.
I tried not to, man. You know,
no, it's okay.
Now,
we're doing.
Man. I'm a sailor at heart.
Yeah, good. You should be. We are too, but we're trying to be a little bit more right this year.
Yeah,
I do the same, and that's why I kind of mumbled it a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's great. I loved it. That one, we get a couple. It's like a PG-13 movie. I think you get like 2 or 3 per, to keep it right in there. So
it's okay. That one little clip is going to be.
That was it. But it's a great clip. Yeah.
So there you go. Dennis, you have another one for Matt?
What was the Michigan State game? Was that your golden moment? Is that your favorite moment? Or do you have another one that?
My favorite was probably the Michigan game. Was my second touchdown in my career. It was 2004 after the at Nevada game. Right? Was it Nevada? I think it was Nevada.
Okay.
And we
wasn't that BYU?
Home. Thank you.
Because they lost BYU that year. Had no business losing that freaking game.
Did not. But that was a game where I expected to get some playing time. I got a little burned quarter, and then they benched me until the 4th and tried to get me in cold to go deep. And I'm like, what are we thinking? It doesn't make any sense.
I totally remember.
So it was probably that one just because it was against Michigan at home. It was my second touchdown. First touchdown was the year before at Stanford.
Right.
This one is a 46-yard touchdown pass, the southeast end zone.
Yes.
Stadium.
Right. Was that the Walker's game? Was that Walker's big game?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a breakout game.
I watched that game with Elijah, Evan. I remember that now. Yep. And I remember losing my mind for you, Matt. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I actually talked to D-Walk this morning just to catch up. I talk to him a couple times a week, probably.
Well, that's fantastic.
Well, you still
man.
Those cats, so that's pretty.
That's so fantastic.
He's a good dude.
And actually, Dennis has asked my last question, so I'm good.
Oh, what was that?
That was it.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, I think you had one more thing to say, Matt. Sorry.
Yes, please.
No. I was just gonna say what made it memorable is I come down, I jump up over the cornerback, catch it above his head, and I land 2 feet on the ground. It's one of those surreal moments where the crowd is absolutely ear piercing, can't hear anything, and everything kind of is in fast motion, slow motion, a little bit of a blur. But I look up and I got the band right there in front of me, and I just give a little throw of the ball, hit a band member in the head. It was awesome.
That is awesome. You got to use that clip, Ev.
I did think of one last question. So was there any away game atmosphere that was overwhelming to you?
The biggest one for me was probably at Neyland Stadium in Tennessee.
Ooh, I mean,
110,000 people. Bright ass orange color is so bright, and the stadium goes straight up and down pretty much. You know, those nosebleeds, it's tough to watch a game. I gotta think. Yeah,
I'm gonna be up there.
Wow.
And they reverberate some sound in there. It is tough.
That was a Goolsby game, right? Where he went a little off and had a good game, and didn't we won that game? No.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. I had no business winning that game either.
At Tennessee, that's a tough environment. Yeah. It's a great game.
Man, I hope they can use a little bit of that mojo, College Station.
Oh, buddy. Yeah.
This week.
Need it. That place is going to be loud, rocking.
Oh, it's going to be obnoxious.
We're going to get into our picks. We're going to do this kind of like rapid fire almost. And then at the end of our picks, we're going to actually go over.
Then we'll talk about.
So we'll do that. We're going to start with week 2. So I'm going to start with Dennis. Week 2 is going to be home against NIU. I will be there. Matt will be there.
Whoop, whoop.
Hopefully him and I are going to be able to link up and I can get an autographed book from him, get some pictures for the socials.
Yeah. Have a drink. Yeah.
So Dennis, let's see. Who do you got winning Notre Dame?
I got ND beating NIU at home. First home game of the year.
Let me chalk it up as a W. Matt, what do you got?
Ditto. I think it's not close.
Across the board, 3 W's.
Sweet. All right.
3, September 14th at Purdue. Unfortunately, that day I will be at Neyland Stadium at Tennessee versus Kent State, but Notre Dame will be at Purdue. Dennis, what do you got winning that one?
Purdue's going to come out and a little fired up, but I believe ND will prevail once more, and I'm sure it will end up being a little bit. It won't be as close. Let's put it that way. Maybe not a blowout, but they'll win convincingly.
So okay, got it. And then Matt, what are you at with that one?
I would agree with that. I would say it's a little closer than you think. That's a fairly loud stadium for the Ruckus student section, which if they're still behind the away sideline, if they're throwing stuff at you, it can really distract you and get you a little messed up. So as long as the guys are dialed in, we get the win, but you got to be careful. It could be a trap game.
You don't think Notre Dame fans are going to overwhelm Purdue's fans there? Because I think that'll happen.
I mean, you would think, but Boiler Up is a thing for them.
Yeah, that stupid ass drum.
Oh, that terrible drum.
Got friends. Week 4, September 21st, home versus Miami of Ohio. Dennis, how are you seeing this one?
I got Andy another home win. After Purdue.
And Matt, what do you got for that one?
Yeah, same, and not close on that one either.
So I also have the same. So we're all 3-0. Well, that's after week 1.
After week 1.
We're not at 3-0, but all 3 wins so far. Next week is going to be week 5 at home again against Louisville, September 28th. Dennis, what are you looking at for that one?
Tough game because guess who beat us last year? Nobody saw. I saw it because I called it. Louisville's a good team, but there's one thing I believe about Freeman when he comes back, and if losing the year prior to another team, he gets. I think it's a chip on his shoulder, and especially that loss. So I believe it'll be tough because Louisville's a little sleeper darling pick for some ACC schools this year, or buzz, and they'd be good. They might be good because the ACC could be one of those leagues where they beat up on each other, but they got a couple good teams, not just like one good team as they had the last couple of years with Clemson and Florida State. So Notre Dame will win. They'll get by. It'll be close though, but I think that defense once again is going to carry us through most of this year, and Notre Dame's going to get the win against Louisville.
As you were saying, the ACC is going to beat up against each other. They already have. You already have one.
Yeah, look what happened Saturday. Nobody saw that coming. Except for
Seamus.
Yeah.
Matt, how are you seeing this Louisville game as well?
I'm seeing Louisville taking an L here. But I really like Coach Brom, like what he's doing down there. I think he's changing the culture. I think it's going to be a fairly close game. They're going to be tough, but I like that aspect of Coach Freeman with a chip on his shoulder. I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm considering that one a win as well. So we're all so far all the same. The next one is going to be a bye week. So we got a bye week in between September 28th and then week 6, October 12th, home against Stanford. So that is 4 out of the first 6 games are home against Stanford. Dennis, how are you seeing that game?
Stanford, new member of the ACC. Wow. The
And it's
Stanford
not the
Cardinal.
Atlantic Coast, it's the All Coast Conference now.
Oh, is that right? They switched it to the All Coast Conference? So I guess that's clever.
All-Coast Conference.
I
heard
not
him
know
say
this.
that on the broadcast. I'm like, what the hell are they
I
talking
know.
about? It makes
I
so
said
much
the
sense.
same thing, and they're like, yeah, they changed the name of it from Atlantic to All Coast.
Had to.
I'll
It makes
take
sense.
it. I don't mind. I'm not mad at it. I think Notre Dame is gonna handle Stanford pretty well.
I got it. Matt, what are you seeing?
Yeah, not much to say there. Agreed. Stanford.
I got Stanford winning that game as well. Is there 2 bye weeks?
You got Stanford winning?
No.
Oh, I'm
Losing.
sorry. Did I say Stanford?
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah,
We
we
are
okay.
what I meant.
We're all in good agreement. Yeah.
yes.
So is there 1 or 2 bye weeks this year?
There's always 2, dog.
All right, I'm missing one then. Where's the other one?
No, you're not. You got after Louisville and then after Georgia Tech.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. So now we're on to Georgia Tech after Stanford.
Okay. So after Georgia Tech. So we got
No, we're at Georgia Tech.
we're at Georgia Tech. So week 7.
Yeah.
October 19th at Georgia Tech.
That's gonna be tough because Georgia Tech's got a good team. Haynes King, I think that kid's name is the quarterback. I mean, everybody was Nick Saban had Florida State as the number 3 seed in his college football playoff prediction.
Still possible.
Aflac. So with that being said, Notre Dame will squeak it out, and it's a true road game. You know, Notre Dame only has 3
True road game.
No. Georgia Tech's at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I take it back. It's not at Georgia Tech.
Oh,
technically, is it?
Okay.
But anyway, close enough. So I thought it was going to be but it's not. It's USC is the true road game.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that being said, Georgia Tech's going to be fired up. They just played it. They might be one of those darling picks in the ACC, the All Coast Conference. Notre Dame wins it, maybe by 6.
All right. So we got Dennis as a win. And then Matt, what are you looking at this one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a win for us. I mean, I really like what Georgia Tech did. They played some smart football, played some possession football, played a 4-minute offense at the end of the game. That shows that you're really controlling the line of scrimmage. And I think that's how they end up winning the game, is just controlling the line of scrimmage. So I think if you're putting our offensive defensive line versus theirs, I think we win all day.
Now,
Nice.
before we started the show, and actually all week has been saying, you have them going 12-0, don't you? Notre Dame. No, I don't. This is
You
the
got
one
him.
loss that I have.
That's your loss, huh?
I'm thinking the loss at Georgia Tech is going to be the one Notre Dame loss.
Wow.
I gave away the rest of my games, but
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah,
That's all right.
So, at Georgia Tech, I have this as a late second loss, kind of like what Georgia Tech did.
What they did.
Man, that kicker from the Gaelic Football League, man. I'm going with Seamus on what he was saying. That kid's good.
Yeah, I'll say.
He can bang it. So
I'll say.
there we go. So that's my one loss. So you guys all have wins so far up until that game. I have here a bye week, but that can't be right. So
Well, whatever. Just go on to the next
week
game.
8, October 26th at Navy at MetLife Stadium. Dennis, what do you have for that game?
I got ND running them out of New Jersey.
Okay, so you got a win for that. Matt, what are you looking at there?
I mean, mad respect for Navy and for any of the service teams. By the way,
Agree.
they are
Keep them
serving
on.
the country and taking on a full load of college student and an athlete. I don't know how they do it. I've seen their schedules, ridiculous. I say that before I hit them with it's not going to be close, but Notre Dame pulls that out in a big win. But that team always is sneaky for us just because they run the weird offense. That wing tee is always different. But we played them so much. It's going to be a tough.
Now, were you part of the first loss?
Oh, no, don't put that on me. No way.
I'm just asking if you were part of it, man.
No way. The only team.
No, you were gone by then. That was Clausen's. Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. The only team that I never beat when I was at ND was Boston College. Another trivia fact.
Fucking Fredo, man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I slipped again.
Yes.
Damn Boston College, backup college.
Yeah, so
UBC.
this Navy game at MetLife Stadium, I'm kind of with both of you guys. With Notre Dame's defense and with what Navy has just as a running game, that's basically all they have. If they get one pass completed out of 12, they'll be happy. That's what they're expecting. So this Notre Dame defense is just going to shut down Navy's offense. They might get 120, 130 yards. That's probably going to be about it. But I have Notre Dame winning this game. Going to the next one, we have November 9th, the home game against Florida State. That will be another fun one. So, Dennis, what are you seeing there?
So this was one where I was going back and forth on like all preseason, all year, because so I'll just cut to the chase a little bit. This season has the makeup for me of my favorite Notre Dame season ever, because and if anybody's a fan of ND Nation knows what season that is. It is the 1993 team of Kevin McDougal and wonderfulness of that team, and the whole game of the century that was 1 versus 2, Florida State, Notre Dame. And I had a feeling that this game leading up to it, I was like, not to give too much away with the first game of the year, but this had the makings of that line. It could have very well been, but we all know what happened on past Saturday. But that being said, before Saturday happened, I thought this maybe could have lined up. It's not a 1 versus 2 matchup, but like a top 5 matchup in November. Huge ramifications, big time game. Notre Dame, Florida State's coming. The circle down the count. It's a big deal. They're going to bring that up, obviously, case of Ross and Rock. I think Notre Dame's going to win the game now, and there's really no much further to go into it as far as the similarities. I'll get into it with another game later. But I think Notre Dame wins this game. At first, for a long time, I was going with Notre Dame to lose this game. But I think Notre Dame is going to win.
There you go.
And maybe by 10, maybe more.
Okay.
Because Florida's DBs are weak, and they got a good D line, but they lost a lot of it. A lot of it. And I think, again, Notre Dame's defense is right there. Always.
All right. Matt, what do you got?
I agree. This is one where before that game on Saturday, I probably was going to say this is our loss for the season.
I was there.
That's where I was at. I mean, you're correct. Last year, they had a phenomenal defensive line. They lost a lot of guys. They're supposedly had replenished. And I think that's kind of the danger of the portal is you get all these guys coming in, which is great. They got talent, but how do they mesh and how quickly can they mesh? I do see them solidifying that line and being a lot better. I don't think it's more than a 10-point game at the end of the year. I think it's more like a 3 to a 7-point ND win.
Yeah, it'll be tough.
It will be week 10, November 16th at home versus Virginia. Dennis.
Virginia, I think ND wins.
Easy.
Yeah.
Matt?
I don't know anything about Virginia, so I'm going to go Notre Dame. I got nothing. But again, that's one of those trap games because you just get done playing Florida State under the lights at night, ruckus atmosphere. You're going to be rowdy, and then you've got Virginia, and then you're going to be looking past them at some big games coming up. I think you got USC in 2 weeks after that, and that's one where I think you kind of look ahead. You're not going to look to Army, but you're going to look to USC. So I think you got to be careful, but I think it's a win at the end of the day.
So the one good thing I'm looking at with this schedule is most of the tough home games are at home, except for at USC and at Texas A&M. So this game for me with Virginia coming in, I don't think they've ever even played us well at home. I think they've been there once or twice. I think I covered a game there. I don't know. I can't remember anymore, but I have this as a win. So there you go. Notre Dame wins that one.
Nice.
We're going on to the second to last game of the regular season, week 11, November 23rd, at Army, the Shamrock Series at Notre Dame, which Dennis will be there. I'm going to try to be there. So
I'm going to try to go to both games here because MetLife is right there. I mean, I got two games in my backyard this year, so
there you go.
Kind of have to go.
Yeah, and I haven't seen them since 2013 was the last game I went to. Was the Spoiled Children game.
Oh.
So. Yeah.
I'll give you for that. Anyway, so who do you have winning this game?
I got Notre Dame beating Army at Yankee Stadium. I hope they pick a decent looking Shamrock uniform. Did we see it yet? No, that was just the green game we saw. We didn't see the Shamrock jerseys yet.
Oh, they didn't show the jerseys. They just showed the style of the jerseys.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm feeling about their uniforms lately. The Shamrock Series ones.
I love
And I
the
wish they'd stop. Honestly, I wish they'd stop the green jersey game. It doesn't mean anything anymore. It should mean something. You know, they don't
I
have
don't
to do the.
disagree. It should mean something, but you got to also keep up with the Joneses. You got to keep.
Yeah,
up
you're
with
right.
the
Kids
Oregons
love
and
it.
whoever else, because kids these days they want cool, they want different, they want fun. So you kind of have to play that game.
You're right. You're right. I can't
But I
be the
agree. I
curmudgeon.
agree with you 1,000%. It doesn't matter like it used to back in the day. It's not as meaningful, but it's still awesome if we don't know what's coming and they go in the
Yeah,
locker
maybe
room
let
warm up and
let
come
maybe.
out.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
awesome.
we don't
I like
know.
that idea.
Maybe we don't know, but the players know. Sure.
Well, that's how they used to do it. When we that Bush game you talked about, we went out onto the field, practiced, did our normal warm up, normal everything. Nobody knew anything. We come into the locker room and green jerseys are in there. We are going absolutely.
Yeah, you're ready to go
nuts.
through the wall. Yeah.
Oh my God, the atmosphere once we got that was just different.
Yep, I know. I remember.
Yeah, and it hurt. It hurt. It hurt.
All right, Matt, who do you have winning this Army game for the Shamrock Series?
The city of New York. I mean, they get Notre Dame coming in, and it's at Yankee Stadium. I think it's a win-win. You got a lot of Delmers up there. I think they're going to have a great experience. I went to the first game in the new Yankee Stadium back in 2009, 2010, whenever that was.
Yeah.
Phenomenal atmosphere. So I think it's a win for the fans, the Yankees, and Notre Dame.
So last time I saw Dennis was 2018 in person. Because he and I have been friends since high school. So they're going on 30 years at least. So there we go. Last time I saw him was
over 30 years.
At the Shamrock Series. He didn't go to the game. I did because I was covering it. I stayed at his house, but that was the last time I saw him at Yankee Stadium. That's why I'm hoping to go. So I'm picking Army, or not Army. What am I saying? Dame to win.
You're all messed up.
I know what I'm saying. It's just not coming out of my mouth,
You have a couple shots before the show?
Yeah.
I'm having soon, but that's gonna happen. But my mind is one way, my mouth is another way. But I have Notre Dame beating Army in the Shamrock Series. So we're going now to the last game of the regular season, November 30th at Spoiled Children. Dennis, who do you have winning that?
I think Notre Dame handles him, and I don't think Marcus Freeman, as long as he's the coach at ND, and I'll say it, I don't think he loses to USC again. To Lincoln Riley. I don't give that man any respect, and I just
you don't give
we beat SC. I don't think they always go nuts. Remember last year when we had Taylor on or whatever his name was, Evan, and it was like, if SC wins, it's a blowout. But if Notre Dame wins, it's going to be by a half a point. And we kicked their ass. And so I used to kind of respect USC a little bit, but for some reason, I just don't like Lincoln Riley. And I think Notre Dame handles them. I mean, it'll be close. They're always going to be close. It's a rivalry game. It's a big game. But he doesn't respect the game anymore. And they're AD and everybody wants to get rid of the rivalry. You know what? Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Call me when the Big Ten is pasting you up and down the field because you don't have that weak-ass Pac-12 schedule anymore. And then let me know if you want us back on the schedule.
So a little throwback to last year there, Matt. Who he was talking about, Dennis, was Hunter.
Excuse me. Sorry, Hunter.
Covered USC football. That was the first time you've ever had an opposite team's beat writer or something actually join our show. These two are going.
I was respectful up until a certain point, and then I was like, "That's it." I was like, "You're out of your mind. Quit sniffing glue," because
Here we go.
Yeah, I was like, "You're nuts, dude. What has USC proven that they were so good? You lost the year prior." Caleb Williams was lights out and everything. It hit the Heisman Trophy. You lost to Utah twice, and you lost to Lane.
Yeah.
So come on, man.
And a weak conference. Let's be honest. The Pac has not been phenomenal in forever.
Thank you, man.
They have great. I mean, Oregon and then Washington came up recently. Other than that, Utah. That's about it.
That's it. Come on, man.
And a lot of years they don't even play some of those. So,
And Caleb Williams is great. I'm sure he'll have a great career and stuff. And maybe he should have won the Heisman that year, the year he did win. But to me, you just showed what kind of everybody was picking him. But I remember the beginning of the year last year, they had somebody had him going to the playoffs. 2 people, I think. Yeah. So anyway, that's just the way I feel. Marcus Freeman,
Won't lose. Okay, there you go. I got
Won't
Dennis.
lose to Lincoln Riley again.
This is on video, so I have
I
this.
like it.
So there you go. Matt, who do you have winning the USC game?
Yeah, I can never say that USC is going to beat Notre Dame. That's just where my head is. It's they're not the Pete Carroll teams in the early 2000s anymore.
Exactly.
They're just not those guys. But they get a ton of recruits. They have so much freaking talent on there. I think there's a lot of distraction. I lived in LA for 13 years. I can tell you right now, there's a lot of distraction in LA. So that's good for the rest of college football because I just think Lincoln Riley doesn't have a good firm grip on him like other coaches do. I think he's more of a player's coach and he's a buddy more than he is a strong coach who's going to keep them in line. So I think they're going to party too much. I think they're going to get their asses whipped in the Big Ten. I think that schedule and let's not even like
Right.
you don't have to talk about the schedule itself, like just the distance of travel and how much difference that's going to be. I think it's going to be a long ass year, and at the end of the year to have Notre Dame come into your stadium, I think that's a tall order for them. So I think it's a 14-point win Notre Dame.
Nice.
So
I really do, and that's not just my bias. That's just trying to take into account the schedules, and I just don't think they have a cohesive unit. And I got to see some kind of indication that defense is better. That's their Achilles heel. Like, they're not defense.
So looking at USC, who they play this year, they're at LSU, they're at Michigan, they're at home against Wisconsin, they're at Minnesota, they're at home against Penn State, they're at Washington, they're at home against Nebraska, they're at UCLA, and then at home against Notre Dame. They can have
6 and 6. Yeah.
Easily.
And one of them will be against Notre Dame because
don't tell me, they got a new defensive coordinator, and that's going to change everything because he don't play defense there.
All right. So the way I'm looking at this so far, between weeks 2 and 12, you guys
all the way to the end.
11-0.
And look, I'll stand by that 11-0.
It's totally cool.
I'm standing by it too because
I'm gonna stand by it. But there are 3 games that really make me nervous, and they could go either way to an extent. And we're about to talk about one of them. And then that Georgia Tech and that Florida State game, to me, those are the 3 toughest games.
Those are the 3 toughest.
They can kind of go any way, in my opinion. And Georgia Tech wasn't going to be a tough one for me, but after what we just saw, they kind of have to.
So we're going to go to that game right now. So we're going to go to our prediction and our score prediction too.
Week 1, baby. Here we go.
Have it. I'm going
24 season is here.
This Saturday night at Texas A&M, number 20.
Man.
Texas A&M versus number 7 Notre Dame. It's all on the line. Playoff or not, it's going to happen. Dennis, who are you picking? Give me a score.
Okay, I'll give you a score and a couple reasons. I got Texas A&M winning over ND by a field goal because
Ooh, that hurt a little.
I don't trust in Riley Leonard yet. I gotta see.
Matt's hurting.
Hear me out, man. Hear me out.
I'm hearing you out.
The Texas A&M has a really good defensive line, and granted, Notre Dame seems to be finally putting talent above experience for once, which they haven't done in a long time, except for maybe Holtz. And I just wonder if that will help with Knapp, that new left side. We lost Jaganosh. That's a big loss, man. I don't care how much they're trying to sugarcoat anything. Losing that left tackle Jaganosh is huge because that wasn't a big drop off from Alt. Now the drop off from Alt to who's there now is huge. And I think between Mother Nature and the 12th man in the environment, Texas A&M is not a better team by any stretch of the imagination. But I just think there's just that one. This will be Marcus's little coaching hiccup of the year. And then they figure it out and they run the fucking table and go 11-1 and make a 6 seed or 7 seed as a playoff and win their playoff game at home. First round in December. Because I'd love to see some of them warm schools come up in December and play in South Bend.
I'd like to know then, since you got them going that far, do you see them even going to the national championship?
No. They'll lose. They'll lose to whoever the home game they got to go against, whether it's whoever comes out of the two out of the Big Ten and the two out of the SEC, and you sprinkle in another magical season from another school.
Gotcha.
But I mean, Notre Dame, that's a magical year for Notre Dame, man. And winning that game, I mean, that's if Notre. Okay, so if again, Texas A&M is not a better team. It's just going to be one of those mistakes. It's like Ohio State. We had them beat the whole time last year. Then we had 10 men on the field. Stupid coach mistake. Okay, it's only his third year. It's gonna happen. I'd like that they'll get it out of the way this game and then run the table and just like improve every week. And he gets so raw and just like he becomes the coach that we want him to be. And he's surrounded with good coordinators now. I think that's what we'll get from him finally. And from ND, which we've been waiting for 30 some odd freaking years. And I can't take it anymore. I'm too gray. They gotta win. So that's why, and I think, but then I think it would be a kind of a disappointment if they went 11-1 and then lost that game, because then it's like, well, they can't ever get a bye week because they can't be a 1 seed even if they ran the table because they're not in a conference. And an 11-1 team, then you get it lined up to where you have a home game in South Bend in the cold, and you might lay an egg in that game. So they can't. They gotta at least win. Plus, it'll get all these idiots to shut the hell up. Finally, I mean, yeah. Then you can't really say anything. Then we finally won a playoff game. We finally won a big game. It matters. We beat. We lost to A&M. A&M could have a good year. Who knows? USC could end up being really good by the time they're. I don't think they will because that schedule is ridiculously hard. And Florida State could be good, and Georgia Tech could be good. The ACC could be much improved. So the schedule, barring like a 2015 type of year where we have a lot of injuries, I picked Notre Dame going 11-1 and winning a first, the playoff round.
All right, I'm gonna tell Dennis, take a breather, get some water.
Sorry, I know losing you think I wanted to lose this first game of the
No,
year?
I know you don't.
I hope I'm wrong as
I don't
ever.
even know if you're a Notre Dame fan, Dennis. At this point, I'm really questioning who the hell you are.
Exactly, man. As you should, man.
But
As you should.
He picked the one loss last year against Louisville, and
I picked them all 9-3. I picked it all.
So who was our guest picker last year? Was it Corey?
No, it was on that show. It was
Lisa.
why can't I think of it now? Oh, Alan Rossum.
Oh, Rossum. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Because when you picked Louisville, he was like, "What?"
Yeah.
We both were like, "What? That ain't gonna happen." And then obviously,
because remember, I was like, there was that stretch, and I was like, Duke might get us, and I ended up picking ND. And then I was like, but the Louisville, I don't know what.
Because I picked Clemson winning that game too.
I picked them to lose Clemson too because, but it should come together this year. That defense is way too good, and we got Denbrock now, and we got Al Golden, and Freeman's going to learn. It's year 3. It's just, I'm not going to say that silly thing we say every year when it's the coach's year 3 is like, oh, they're going to win. But Seamus that's a stretch, man, to call a national title right now.
I love the call, though.
So
Gotta
do
respect
I.
it, and you can't disagree with them and kick your ass.
So I'm going to make sure that
Yes, he
Matt, our guest picker, goes last. So I'm going to go next on.
Let Matt go last.
I'm going to have him go last. So for the prediction of Notre Dame at Texas A&M, I kind of see it a little bit differently than obviously Dennis does. I actually think this is a game where Marcus Freeman is going to have not that stupid mistake.
Takes that step
against Ohio State. So I think he's going to have all of his I's dotted and his T's crossed or whatever, however the hell you want to say it. So I'm going to make sure that a lot of coach speak there. I did that pretty well, didn't I? But anyway, so I have Notre Dame winning this game. And actually, I don't have it as close as people think. 33-23. I have it as a 10-point win.
Wow. At College Station, man. I love you,
College
dude.
Station. And if I recall, I thought I heard that Texas A&M's stud running back is out for the year. Was that
for real?
Like early, a couple of weeks back, I thought I heard that. So I think that's kind of what I'm going off of. And also they've had a few other people, plus Mike Elko's first game. I don't see him coming out, taking control like if it would have been Jimbo Fisher or somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it.
Who do you got? So that's okay. Wait, I'm sorry, I'm not done yet. 11-1. That is my season prediction. I also have them winning one playoff game and losing the second one also after the home game.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, now Matt.
Okay, where to start here? I think one of you is correct and one of you is wrong.
I know who's wrong. I'm sure I'm the one who's wrong.
Hey, you don't know.
And I
But
hope
Dennis is
like
wrong,
hell I
yeah.
am. I hope I am. Please,
I will text
happily be
Matt
wrong.
Saturday night after the game and say who's wrong. So there you go.
Yeah, I'll happily be
There you
mad.
go. And done. Now, I agree. It's going to be a tougher game than Evan says. I agree with you on that fact, Dennis. But I disagree at the left tackle spot. I think leaving, what was his name, Jurgensen?
Charles Jagash. He's injured.
I don't think that's as big a loss as you think. We had to replace our tackles anyways, and he went into the bowl game, and he had a great game, but he still had to come out and prove himself. And I think under the lights, Kyle Field, that's a tough environment for anyone. I don't think it really matters who we have over there. It's going to be an experience. We're going to have false starts. We're going to have issues there no matter what.
Okay.
I think it's really going to come down to the defenses. And I think our defensive line is going to be able to pin their ears back, really come after these guys. From what I'm seeing out there, it seems like wide receiver might be a little bit of a weakness for them. Everyone is really big on this quarterback, Wigman.
Yeah.
I don't see it yet in the sense of he's still young. He played 3.5 games last year. He got hurt in the Auburn game. So let's take that out of the equation. He played 3 games last year, threw for 236, 336, 337. And in those games, he threw for 74% completion percentage. If you take out the 2 games that are the weakest, which is New Mexico and Louisiana Monroe, Miami of Florida in the middle, he threw 58% completion. So I think the talent gets raised, and he hasn't shown that he can step up yet. And that's what this year is for that kid. So if he steps up, it's going to be a close game. And I think he's going to step up. It's going to be a close game. We're going to have to overcome some penalties, crowd noise. I see us winning by 4, 28-24.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice, man.
You have an
I'll take it.
season right there.
Yeah, you're picking him to go undefeated. No shit.
I am, but here's the thing. I really feel like it's going to be an 11-1 season.
Yeah, you
I
think
just
there's going
don't
to be
see
one.
a game where I'm like, that's the one. I think there's those 3 games I mentioned.
Like going through.
All right.
It was hard for me to pick the Georgia Tech game as well, but I did, and otherwise it would have been 12-0. But I just felt
Do you have him winning a playoff game then, Matt?
I got him winning 1 playoff game, and then I just like you said, we can get to the SEC or ACC game, whatever that's going to be. I think we take an L there.
Yeah.
Okay, look at that, 11-1.
Wow,
11-1.
nice. Yeah.
This will be.
I mean, I wonder too if this year, if a 10-2 team, if they go 10-2, and depending on how that schedule turned out, like if because the schedule can go one of 2 ways. I know you can say that every year, but this one really, because it's kind of soft right now. I mean, but it could play out and be big. So, but I think a 10-2 Notre Dame team, if the schedule is soft, could miss out, even at 12 teams. Because what if one of those 2 losses is against a bum ass Miami or something like that? It could be, or Purdue at Purdue. That might not be a good loss.
True.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. But here's the one thing about the playoffs is you had team 5 and 6 bitching last year that they didn't get in, and you're gonna have team 13 and 14 bitching that they didn't get in. So let's just not be 13 or 14. Take care of business, and if we just control the ball, limit the dumb mistakes, we win a lot more games than we lose.
Yeah. I honestly, though, I will say this is because I got sour milk from last year with old Pert Plus Sam Hartman, and I wanted to, it's great and I'm happy, but it's just like, you're not a real, you come in one year and you're more worried about how your hair is looking and warm-ups than you are like. And Gerard Parker was not the answer, obviously. That was some silly stopgap.
And
that
had a major.
That Swarbrick messed up. Swarbrick really screwed that up, but that's in the past. But I was hoping we didn't bring in a transfer this year because I really believed in peanut butter and jelly. So, and CJ Carr is real, man. That cat's the real deal out of the box. He's ready to go.
I agree, but I mean, you got Leonard coming back there, and you've got all these transfers coming in at wide receiver as well. So there's chemistry that's got to be made. It didn't really matter who the quarterback was going to be. They're going to have to get that chemistry going immediately, no matter what.
I was going to say, but Matt, you said it earlier in the show too. It's like Florida State. They got all these transfers. Maybe they didn't mesh right. Who's to say we meshed with Riley? He can get a C all day. I don't think he should have gotten a C, honestly. But you should have gave it to Angeli. You're telling me there's only one offensive captain out of this team? Come on, man.
No, I would have given it to someone else. I don't know who it is, but
any other tight end? Not one of the tight ends?
No, I probably would have given it to a big nasty. One of the linemen, scary as hell. Walks up, faces the other team. He's like 6'8", 400 pounds. That's scary.
Thank you. That should have been, Angeli could have been a captain just because think of what he's gone through. He sat behind Hartman last year. He should have maybe been considered. And now this year he's got to sit behind Riley Leonard. I hope he does something because I will love to eat my words. So,
before we
be wrong, dude.
I know we've had a long.
But he doesn't have to win the Heisman or play or go all world. Just win, man. Just go. Great. Go 12-0. I don't care. Just win me some damn football games.
And just play smart. That's it.
Right.
Game manager like Brady was early in his career.
Man, no, I don't need a game manager. I want Trevor freaking Lawrence. I want a goddamn player, man. We used to get all these guys. We used to get them all the time.
Hey, this guy's got so much freaking experience. He's going to be threading the needle left and right. As soon as that chemistry really clicks and that line clicks, that's the biggest thing. The line's got to click. Once they do that, everything else is fine.
It's kind of similar, too, to like Wegman. He'll go out and light it up, and the next game he doesn't even hit 50% of his passes.
Yeah.
And the fact that we never asked Matt his relationship with Brady Quinn. One of my favorite players.
There it is. And the show.
What the hell, man? I mean, I got to ask you because, I mean, obviously Dennis and I, we were in our, mid-20s then? Late 20s?
Oh, late 20s, dude.
Yeah, it was late 20s. So what was your relationship like with Brady Quinn?
Oh, Brady was great. It's still great. Yeah, I love watching him on Fox these days. He's a good dude.
Poor guy between those fucking.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it next to Liner and Bush.
He's a saint. I think he's applied for sainthood here soon. At least at the University of Notre Dame, he'll probably get it soon. He's the golden boy of Notre Dame. Anyways, but he came in as a confident, slightly cocky quarterback, which every quarterback needs to be a little cocky and confident. And he left the same way. I mean, just good head on his shoulders, smart guy, genuine guy. I can't really say one thing bad about Brady.
Awesome.
And another great head of hair.
Wow, that freaking guy. He's got a great head.
Gorgeous man.
He looks like a Greek god still. 6'2".
I know.
Come on.
40 years old now? I mean,
just a dreamboat.
Oh, kidding me?
It's not fair. It's not fair how we do this. And there are a few more games this week that kind of are big name ones. We got Clemson, number 14, and number 1, Georgia.
Yeah, that's going to be really good.
West Virginia. I'm not going to ask what you guys are watching. I'm just going to tell you what's out there. Number 23, USC at LSU. And then for me, North Dakota State at Colorado on Thursday. So that should be fun. Any last things before we go, Matt? Because we got to promote that book one more time. Show it to us.
Oh, we got to do it. Got to do it. Rising Through Every Fall. You can get it on my website, risingthrougheveryfall.com. And that's the informal through. Just so you see it. Informal through.
Got it.
Okay.
I had to shorten
that.
Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever you get your books. I'll also be at Northern Indiana game, NIU, Louisville, Florida State, and Virginia. Come see me at the bookstore for autographs.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That is the way to
do it.
So again, we have, let's see, Evan 11-1, winning 1 playoff game. Dennis 11-1, winning 1 playoff game. Matt is 12-0, undefeated, winning 1 playoff game. Matt Shelton, freaking rising through every fall. The journey of a Notre Dame football player overcoming injuries, changes, and doubts.
And 5 head coaches.
Five head coaches.
Wow.
You can check us out. We have merch, this one, and also some new stuff on our website that we are ndnation.com. Our socials also, we are ndnation.com. We will have the show every week for you, at least probably Wednesday or Thursday is when it drops once I edit it, but it'll all go there. And for Dennis, thank you. For Matt, thank you. Any last words before we go? I know Dennis usually has something.
No, it's going to be a fun year. I can't thank Matt enough. And super excited, and come back anytime, please, because it's awesome. You sure. Definitely fit in. Not that anybody else doesn't, because we're just two friends who just love Notre Dame football. I have no other credentials outside of
Matt's
Fact.
like a younger guy compared to who we normally have on. We have like the
Well,
old-
we had Troy Pride Jr. was young, but usually
oh
everyone
yeah,
else
Troy
is
was the youngest so far.
yeah. So, but no, it's wonderful. Thank you so much.
A big thank you to Lisa Kelly for getting me in touch with Matt as well. Lisa has been a godsend to our show.
Yeah, Lisa's great.
Been on a
Oh,
few-
I will say this to fans out there: send questions about anything, asking for our
I didn't get
guests,
any.
or even for us, even if it's just like, do I like root beer floats? Yes, I do.
Of course you do. They're great.
Jeez. So again, thank you, Matt. And again, put that book up so we could all see it.
Yeah.
And you have that catch behind you in the big picture as well, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And your helmet behind you as well, which I saw.
It's all there. It's all there.
That way. Yep.
Yeah.
All the stuff.
Look at that.
All the stuff.
Beautiful.
Nice, man.
You guys get that. Until next time, go Irish.
Go Irish and
Go
fuck
Irish.
the 12th man.